Be honest, have you ever copied a recursion solution, nodded like you understood it, and immediately forgot how it worked? That was me for years. But this week, I tried to fix that. No shortcuts, no tutorials, just me versus recursion. This is episode 3 of Zero to Hide, my painfully honest DSA comeback series. Let's talk about recursions, failures, and some tiny wins. Everybody knows what recursion is. It is just function calling itself. But the main question is, till what does the function call itself? The function call itself till the base case is satisfied. Only when the base case is satisfied, it will return something and the loop of function calling itself will stop. So let's just take a look at this reverse and array question. In this problem, we just have to reverse the array using recursion. So what we are going to do is that we are going to swap the leftmost and rightmost digits, and we are going to do that till we reach the center. So let's just implement this solution. I need to reduce the size of the array on which we are doing the swap. The original function will not work because it has just one argument, which is the array. So I will write another function which would be void reverse int l for left, int r for right. We are going to give a recursive call for the reverse function with array l plus 1 and r minus. We need a base case for this, right? So what would be the base case? As the l starts to move towards the right and the r starts to move toward the left, at the center there will be a point where the value of l and r will be equal. So what we are going to do is write a condition where if l is greater than or equal to r, then we have to just return. This will be the base case for this solution. So now we just have to call the reverse function with initial parameters. The value of l will be 0, the value of r will be array of size, and this will give a size. So what we have to do is reduce it by 1 so that it can give the index of the last number. So we have to call it these parameters l and r. So let's just run this. Hopefully it works. It is not working. Oh my god, I have done a very big mistake, which I explained in the solution actually, that we have to swap the numbers, but we have not implemented swap here. So we have to swap array of L and array of R. So this is that. And then I think this should work. So I will, yeah, yes, it is working. So we have done reverse the array question. So let's just move forward. So let's do another one question. This is the factorial question, which is one of the basic questions of recursion, and we had also known about factorials during our school. So what is a factorial? We just have to multiply the number by its predecessor and by its predecessor till it reaches the value 1. For example, 5 it is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. First of all, we have to give a recursive, that is factorial of n minus 1. For example, it is 5, then it will become 4 3, and as we have to multiply the number by that, so we'll do n into factorial of n minus 1 and a semicolon, so that we don't get an compilation error. And now we have to write the base case till what it should go till it reaches the value 1. And the factorial of 1, we know that factorial of 0 and factorial of 1 is 1. So what we will do is, if n is equal to 0 or n equal to 1, we'll do return of n. So I think it should work directly. Okay, so oh sorry, it should return 1, as the factorial of 0 is also 1, the factorial of 1 is also 1. So now it should compile. Yes, we have done. So we have also done this factorial question. So after the factorial question, let's do another type which is similar to that, which is the Fibonacci number. In the Fibonacci number, the Fibonacci number is the sum of the two preceding Fibonacci numbers. For example, if Fibonacci number of 0 is 0, Fibonacci number of 1 is 1, then Fibonacci number of 2 is 0 plus 1, that is 1, and Fibonacci number of 3 is 1 plus 1, which is 2. In the example, we can see that Fibonacci number of 3 is 2. So for implementing this, just like the factorial one, we have to return an int. So we will be returning the recursion call. So the recursion call will be fib of n minus 1, that is past number, plus fib of n minus 2, which is the its predecessor. What should be the base condition? The base condition should be this thing. The if statement I had written for the factorial one will be applicable here. So if n equal to 0 or n equal to 1, we have to return n. So for 0 it will return 0, for 1 it will return 1. I think this should work in the first try. Yeah, it worked. Now let's do a question which is a bit tricky, not too hard, but a question which can be solved with the recursion. In this, what we have to do is we have to find a palindrome. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to remove all the non-alphanumeric characters and convert all uppercase letters to lowercase letters. Actually, there are functions for this, like for checking if the number is alphanumeric, then we have to use is alpha num, and for converting to lowercase, it is like lower. So let's just start with this implementation. First of all, we need to store the process string rs, which will be a empty string right now. So what we need to process, we have to remove the spaces, the symbols, and the non-alpha numeric values. So we will check if the value is alphanumeric, and if it is alphanumeric, then we will make it lowercase and append it to the string. So for that, we are using this auto loop here, auto ch, then the string s. For this, we will check if it is alpha num. I would have to check if the function is called alpha num or it is something else. If it is alpha num, then the string should be appended with this value, but in lowercase. So it should be lower and ch. Let me just check the name of the functions is alnum and to lower. So if we just print this string right now, I think it should be cout rs return false. If I run this, okay, it is returning a correct string. So the processing part is done. Now what we need to do is that we have to check the ends of the string. If the ends of the string match, then we move to the shorter string till we reach the center of that string. Here the parameter of is palindrome function is just string, so we cannot use this function directly for recursion. What I will do, I will implement another function for checking the palindrome. It will name check and it will return a boolean. It will accept string s int l for left iterator and int r for right iterator. So what it should do, it should check if this is kind of the base case. If the string of l is not equal to string of r, so I can get the both the characters at the both end, and if they are not equal, we have to return false. So this would be the case, and we have to implement the recursion here. Check and we will return s, and the l value would be incremented by 1 and r will be decremented by 1. Here just we have to place a comma. So this was the part, and we'll just call this function, the check function, with initial values. So the initial value will be s, then the l value, which is left value, will be 0 for the 0th index, and for the last index it will be s dot size minus 1. So we get the last index. I had to return a true, otherwise it will not work. And also in this function we have to return a boolean, so we will return this function call. So let's check if this works. What might be the problem here? Overflow. Where might this overflow happen? Okay, so we are pre-processing and putting the values in the rs string, but I am passing the s string here in this function, so that is causing the problem. So I will change both of these parameters to rs. So let's see if this works. It is returning the same error. I think the problem lies in the check function. Instead of returning true here, what if we, as we are moving from the L iterator is moving towards the end and the R iterator is moving toward the start. So what we can do, we will add a condition where they meet, and if they meet means we have checked all the letters if they are equal. So if they meet, what we will do, we will return true. So we'll implement that. If L is greater than equal to R, then return true. I think this should work right now. Okay. Non-void function. Okay. So I have declared the function return type as boolean. So when I am calling this function check, if all things are satisfied, there should be something after this that is returning, or it should return itself. We have to return the function. I think this should work now. I have got 3 errors at least. Yeah, it is accepted. So let's just see if it passes the test cases. Memory limit exceeded. So there is this huge string and it is causing limit exceeded. So the input string can contain this much things. So the result rs string can also contain this much data. So what might be the thing which is actually causing the memory limit exceeded? When I'm passing the string here rs, it is passed as a value through this check function, means that the original rs string is not passed. A copy of that string is created, and I think it might actually occupy more space if we just pass it as a reference by using the AND operator. What we can do is that instead of creating the copy of rs, we are directly passing the rs and all the changes will happen with rs. So I think it should save memory, because there are only 6 test cases which are failing this. They should pass. Yes, it has passed. So that was the problem, that it was creating a copy of the rs string which was causing the memory limit to exceed. So we have fixed that issue as well. So that was the string palindrome question. In the next episode, we will be taking a look at hashing and solving some of the questions. So keep watching this series, keep subscribing. In the comment section, do tell me what topics you are currently tackling and what kind of problems you are facing in them. Thank you for watching.